Assalamu alaikum. Today's lesson is going to be a very important but very short lesson. I'm going to start off by telling you guys a scary story. Once upon a time there was a boy and he was reading about animals. The boy learned about cat and he also learned about lioness. The boy only saw lioness in a book, not in real life. And the boy couldn't tell the difference between the cat and the lioness. One day he went to the zoo and there was a cage and there was a lioness in the cage. The boy very innocently assumed that it's a cat, not knowing the difference between cat and lioness cost him an arm. I mean, this is a very, oh my God. Can I even say this story on YouTube? Sorry guys, the story was terrible, but maybe you can learn a lesson from it. So even though things might look similar, they are very, very different. Today, inshallah ta'ala, I'm going to teach you about huruf al-leen. They look very similar to our previous lesson, which are huruf al-mad. But let's go back to the story first. They realize they can't go anywhere unless they go through this tunnel. These letters, they stretch so they can go through the tunnel, otherwise they will be lost forever. They came out of tunnel and they were feeling really dizzy. So huruf al-leen, they are stretching letters, but they're different. Let's not call them stretching letters. And stretching letters on the other hand. I'm going to go back and do a quick review of stretching letters so you can differentiate between them and huruf al-leen, inshallah ta'ala. What's huruf al-mad? Stretching letters. Just like when you have a chewing gum, you take it out and you stretch it. Don't do that, behave yourself. But we call them stretching letters. What are the stretching letters? Alif, ya and waw. The important question is when? Arabic kab. The answer is when you see alif after a letter with the fatha, and only when you see ya with the after a letter with the kasra, and when you see a waw after a letter with the dhamma. For example, this is da, di, do. The red stretching letters are stretching the active letters before them. Without these stretching letters, it would be da, di, do only. Stretching letters tend to be empty from the top. They have nothing on top of them. Sometimes you may find them in Quran with the mad on top. Then you stretch them quite long. Da, di, do. I want you to really understand this about stretching letters. Huruf al-leen are the easy letters. And there's a difference between them and the stretching letters. Huruf al-leen, on the other hand, is when there is a waw or ya after a letter with the fatha. Let's keep this very simple. For example, dal fatha waw sukun daw. Dal fatha ya sukun day. I'm not necessarily stretching here daw, day, on purpose, but these are very easy letters. We call them huruf al-leen because they come out very easily. Which waw and which ya? Waw that comes after a letter with the fatha, ya that comes after a letter with the fatha. For you to differentiate between stretching letters and easy letters, here is what you need to know. These letters are not empty from the top, they have sukoon on top. These letters have sukoon on top. Also, these letters, for example, waw doesn't really come after a letter with the dhamma, because if it did, then it would be a stretching letter. Ya is not really coming after a letter with the kasra, otherwise it would be a stretching letter. Also, you would never see mad on top of them. So although leen letters are easy and sometimes they're stretched, for example, a, bay, you would never see mad on top of them. Now, rather than going to some basic examples and treating you guys like small little kids, I'm going to go straight to Quran and give you guys some tough examples. I'm going to zoom in and look into different words in Quran. I'm going to focus on huruf al-mad and leen, and I want you to tell me if it's a stretching letter or not. Don't you dare skip this exercise. This word is ladina, and I see a ya. Is this ya a stretching letter or is it an easy letter? The answer is it is a stretching letter because it's coming after a letter with the kasra. Ladina. see a word here. كفروا. Is this waw a stretching letter or is it an easy letter? The answer is this is a stretching letter because it's coming after a letter with the dhamma. Let's have a look at this word. This word is وَبِالْيَوْمِ. Is this waw a stretching waw? I hope you said no, because this waw has a sukoon on top and it's not a stretching letter then. Yawmi, yawmi. Let's have a look at last two words. Li'ilafi. Is this ya a stretching ya or is it harful leen, easy letter? It's a stretching ya. You see a letter before it that has a kasra. Li'i, so it's stretching the hamza. How about this small alif? Stretching or easy letter? Well, it is for sure a stretching letter. Is stretching a letter with the fatha before it. La. Look at this word. Is this ya a stretching ya? As soon as you see a sukoon on top, you know it's not a stretching letter. Raish, Quraish is not a stretching letter, is an easy letter. Now I'm going to keep this very short and simple. Now you see, I've been teaching for 11 years and I know some of you would want to go through this whole chapter right from the beginning. You want me to pick each and every letter and put it with the Leen letter and show you examples and small words and big words and bigger words. Of course, all of that available inshallah ta'ala in my Qaedah program. You can get access to all the online courses and you get access to live sessions where you can come and practice as well. Link in the description. Before you go, make sure you watch the video again and again. And we're not done here. In the next lesson inshallah ta'ala, I'll tell you something very strange happens to these letters. Until then, Salam Alaikum. This video is sponsored by Hafsa Academy. Jazakumullahu khairan. If you want to contact them, link in the bio.